The Path of Magic live stream. Today, I'm excited to bring you some updates. I got in the scripting mood and felt like changing some stuff yesterday. So I'm gonna show you that because it's probably a good idea to start these videos in general with talking about something. So why don't I show you just what the updates to Path of Magic have been since the last video, because I update it pretty regularly. It's usually like some little thing changes every day or every other day, not always. And there's this Discord channel here, and there's part of the Discord channel called the changelog, and this is where I like put things that change and people can react to them, right? So obviously when I make things harder, you know, you can tell by the icons that show up, right? So what has happened recently is basically Odin has been buffed so that he's more kind, so that whenever Odin shows up, instead of him just doing bad stuff like before, now he can give you a buff, and the buffs that he give are these ones, and he can give some really powerful buffs, and some of them stay with your character until you die or log out. So this is like a mechanical update to Odin. And then there's also some adjustments to tattling, which I won't get into because it's kind of complicated. Some fixes to what happens when the year progresses forward on Path of Magic. Because on PoM, there's a different system for time than in normal Valheim. In normal Valheim, you have days that just go on forever, and you end up with like day 8,642, right? So in PoM, it doesn't work that way. Instead, there's all the days of a year, so it'll go to like 364 or whatever. And then after that, it reverts to the next year. So it'll go year 2, day 1, year 3, day 1, etc. And right now, PoM is on year 37, something like that. So it's just a different way of sharing the time. And that system had some issues with the timers, so I've been working on fixing that. And aside from that, we changed the fishmongers, so now when you sell fish, you get way more money than you did before. And the idea here is that fishing is like really chill, but most people who like fishing, they like fishing. Other players don't really get that into it. So I'm trying to make fishing more profitable so that people feel like it's more worth trying it out. That's the idea. But currently, people don't really seem to care about fishing unless they already care about fishing. So the fishmonger is like a kind of diverger that you can sell fish to. The basics of it is it looks at the quality of the fish. So you can see you get 100 coins for a level 1 fish, 900 coins for a level 4, and then the level 5 fish is like a mini game that it's a chance to get a fishing hat or something else, etc. And then I also added a couple of things to the diverger merchants. And that's pretty much it. That's what has recently been updated in Path of Magic. So now we'll get to it. And if you want to join us on Path of Magic, it is free for anyone to join. There's no limits on the slots or anything. You don't have to do some application process. You can just join. And you can find the information you need by looking on my YouTube videos or Splash of Pain's YouTube videos or Captain Crumb's YouTube videos for a link to the Discord server, the Poolside. This is a community Discord server, and from there you'll be able to find all of the information you need to log in. So let me clear things real quick here. Gonna clear the situation. These are builders' bells. So in Path of Magic, it is very dangerous, but we try and encourage building as much as possible. So there's mechanics so that you can clear these things. And that's what this builder's bell here is. You build one, and then you can strike it, and it'll make all the enemies run away. That's the basic gist of it, at least. So for now, let's fix my food situation here, and I can share a little bit of updates about what's going on now. Pretty much I'm gonna need a lot of stone, and we have an issue here because the stone, I don't have enough of it, essentially. And we're gonna make a circular stone castle-like wall almost, and that's gonna contain this whole area. And then we'll make some kind of wooden thing within this area here. So to begin, I'm probably gonna need to go do some more crypting so I can get some more wealth to sell stuff and purchase stone. So I'm gonna equip myself real quick. It looks like I just need some arrows, essentially. So that's what we're gonna grab. Should already have some decent ones. Let's see what's available. We need silver arrows, and pretty much we need silver arrows, and we also need frost arrows. But I'm kind of wondering, maybe because of how hard the swamp is, maybe the fire arrows can become explosive earlier. Because in the Mistlands and the plains, they're explosive, but they're not explosive in the Black Forest, the meadows, and the swamp. But the swamp is quite hard now, especially with the more powerful enemies. So maybe I think I'm going to update that. So here we are. We're going to go and open up a script real quick. This is actually a very, very simple thing, so I think it's easy to show you. Just give me a moment here. I'm loading up the file. So I've already been separating things more, and all I have to do is find the relevant script, and then I'll open it up and show you. And what we're looking for is a script called Elemental Arrows. Here we are. Awesome, I found it. Okay. Now let me flip this over. I'm gonna go to desktop here. And here we are. Now let's see. You need to be able to see this. Okay. So this is a script that adjusts the silver weapons, the fire arrows, and poison arrows, and frost arrows. Basically, it makes all of the arrows like end game weaponry. They're very powerful, even if you have just something simple like a fine wood bow. So what we're going to be working with here is this fire arrows part. The fire arrows, at first, are just normal fire arrows. But then, as you progress, currently, once you get into the Mistlands, Ashlands, the oceans, or plains, they become explosive arrows by triggering a lava blob explosion. Okay? Pretty simple. So all we have to do is add swamp right there. That's it. And now we can save the file and go back to the game. I told you it was simple. That's actually all we needed to do. And I should now just be able to wait. And now I should be able to use the fire arrows that are explosive because I'm currently in the swamp biome. Let's see if it worked. We have to be a little more careful with them now. There we go. So you see it works, but there's a little bit of a delay. So for now, I'll just accept that. But later on I'll work on that. Because I also don't know, like, does this mean you can shoot the... Oh, no, it's okay. It doesn't break the tree. That's good. But that's pretty cool, isn't it? It's almost like a mine, though. It's like there's like a little delay for a second. It's interesting because I don't think that's lag. That's actually the speed. It's the length of time it takes for the explosion to happen. Because the explosion from the lava blob isn't instantaneous. So I'll probably add some kind of like smoky effect or something to make it more clear, you know what I mean? But we have our explosive arrow now. So we have to be a little bit careful though, because the explosive arrow no doubt can hurt me. And given how much I was able to die before, just with the regular arrows, let's do a little test here. How damaging is this? Oh, okay. Hey, that's not too crazy. I actually survived. But that's pretty cool, honestly. I think that's kind of interesting. Let's see how this goes then. Ooh, that's really cool. Oh, okay, it got me that time though. I see, okay. Well, there we go. That works. I would consider that balanced for Path of Magic, to be honest. I found that there can be things that are very powerful, and it actually works quite well, provided those things that are very powerful are able to hurt the player, pretty much. That means that it counterbalances their own power, because the player has to be cautious, and that is very beneficial. I find it beneficial to reward caution in the player's behavior. Obviously, you need caution to stay alive here. It's like fundamental, right? But I like these explosive arrows. They actually, like, that is like really fun. I hadn't actually tried it much because I made it only work later on because I was a little paranoid about it being too strong. But it's great. I mean, it doesn't like perfectly kill them or something. And it's definitely like you can't use it in melee range, right? Otherwise you get wrecked. But when the enemy's far away, it's pretty cool. Ah, and because the arrow hits them first, you don't get the explosive damage of the exploding damage doesn't do the critical. So I guess technically you could do more damage by shooting them and the arrow not hitting them, but the explosion hitting them when they're unaware. Uh-oh. Wait, why did that not launch? That's funny. Maybe that I was on like a black forest spot or something. As you can see, there's more there are more starred enemies in the swamp now. And that's one of the reasons I'm alright with making the explosive arrows available earlier. Because I don't just want it to be hard. That's not the idea. The idea is not to make a harder version of Valheim. The idea is to make a more thrilling, interesting version of Valheim. Good morning, Jeremiah. Good morning. I hope you're doing well today. I'm in a particularly plum mood today. I feel like I'm used to this streaming thing. An evil morning. Oh, is it evil because of this? What's going on here? Let's see. Alright, I won't just keep dying recklessly. I've just been experimenting here with this fire arrow situation. So let's clear these guys. And I'm gonna go into the crypt a little bit, but before I do that, I need to make sure I have plenty of ooze bombs. Because doing crypts without ooze bombs is lame. Doing crypts with ooze bombs is really fun. So let's deal with that here. And yes, I still don't have a workbench area set up. It's a tragedy, really, isn't it? So I'm just gonna kind of block this off. I have an idea, actually. This, sorry, mister. You, there we go. We have a workbench spot now. Sorry. I know it's kind of crowded there, but it's okay. We can now make the things that we need. Oh, I don't have enough of those. Oh. Why am I not getting any leather scraps? Is it because I'm selling all of them? Usually you get a lot of leather scraps, right? So maybe I converted them to something. I wonder. We'll have to see, because I'll get more out of the cart. But I have to be a little bit frugal with just 15 of these. But for now, it's alright. We got our ultra cart up here, ready for the crypt. Oh. And this is one of the other ideas with Path of Magic. Now you can respawn dungeons yourself if you pay 999 coins. So whenever you're finished with the dungeon, if you want to re-roll it, or it didn't roll well, like the entrances are shut, you can just build a coin pile at the entrance, and that will re-roll it. But you'll lose the coins, so you have to pay 999 coins in order to do that. But the idea is that players can make a game of finding spots that are near a dungeon, and then they can keep raiding the dungeon for building materials and money. And then whatever they don't get, they use the money to get so they can build what they want. Like now, for example, I need to get stone. So I could either mine stone or I could do dungeons. And I'd rather do dungeons than just mine a bunch of stone. And this way I also can playtest things a little bit, right? So, oh, we got some situation here. Whew, lucky. Hey, wow, we got really lucky. So you can see that sometimes you actually are able to spawn, and in the very beginning you get assistance. So we had some assistance and also an enemy. Hey, uh-oh. Oh no, uh-oh. I aggroed him. Well, that situation. I was trying to hit the Droger, I swear. But I accidentally clubbed him. Dang, you're powerful now. Eek. I'm glad that she didn't care that I clubbed her friend up in the, the tomb. That would be really tragic. Here's my magical rested buff spot. Does this still work? Can't even tell. Ah, yeah, I'm wet. That's why it's not happening. This is a perfect time for me to grab my tea. Welcome, by the way. Good morning, everybody. I know these streams are quite early for people, but I'm just trying to, basically, I found that when I stream, I really, get in the mood to make Valheim content, and it inspires me a lot. So it works really well for me personally to wake up and stream, and I'm much more able to talk about things than I am later in the day. Later in the day, my voice is more strained, I'm more tired, so I can't just easily flow through conversation. Whereas earlier in the day, it's very simple to do that, even if I'm sleepy. And I think that's just because I love Valheim so much, so it's just easy to get excited about it, especially now that, we have a way to make our own versions of Valheim, and we don't need to be like programmers and modders and that sort of thing. It's really changed the game, so to speak. What Yer's done with Expand World prefabs, that's like how Path of Magic is made, you know? This isn't some crazy scripting language or something. It's pretty much just something you can learn if you love Valheim and you want to have some fun tweaking some mechanics and changing things. I mean, it's insane the kinds of machines and things you can build, and you can change the world and make your own game, and there's all sorts of mechanics, you know? So that's one of the reasons that I like to show this stuff off, because I think that once people really get this, more people will be interested in Valheim again. And I have a feeling that the future, or the circumstance where Valheim, people pay more attention to Valheim, I don't think it's going to be when the game finishes or when the Deep North comes out. Rather, it's going to be when the community starts to really make more interesting things. Kind of like the way Minecraft just exploded, and over time there's so many different versions of Minecraft and different servers, story modes, all sorts of things. Whereas Valheim hasn't seen that same kind of creativity. People get too lost in the literal building elements, and the world building parts up until recently were just too kind of fringe and challenging. Whereas now you can just do simple things with scripts. So I'll be right back. I'm just gonna put some milk in my tea, and then we'll go off with a rested bonus. I'll just leave this guy here because, 8 minutes isn't that long, but I don't usually live that long anyway. Alrighty. I am back now. Hello bypass content. Welcome, welcome. This is a live stream of the Path of Magic, which is a EWP, or Expand World Prefabs, Valheim server. It's this new way to alter Valheim servers where you can change the mechanics without having the clients require any mods. Very, very cool stuff. For example, this bell here, you can hit it, and then boom, that happens. That's EWP, baby. And the stuff that it does, that scares all nearby monsters. It fears them. You can fear monsters with EWP. All you do is set up some basic scripts. Here's some other examples of things that EWP allows you to do. Here we have some basic fire arrows, nothing special. And when we shoot them, boom, a second later, we get an explosion. They're timed explosive arrows. All EWP. So you're going to be seeing a lot of crazy nonsense, and it's all EWP. And that's my main intention here, is to show off how cool Yer's mod is, and how it enables us to build all sorts of things that before we could only just dream of, essentially. Oof, oof, oh, that's right. I forgot to get a bubble shield. Well, one of the things about very hard mode is that things just wreck you, especially starred mobs. So on Path of Magic, we have a way to work around that. You can actually play defensively and stay alive more easily. And now I'll show you how you go about doing that. Essentially, when you block anything in Path of Magic, you get a bubble shield. And that bubble shield allows you to survive any hit once, right? So I just had some basic stuff here, but now I'll equip something that has some better block armor, right? And we're gonna hopefully get the corpse run thing here. Then we should be fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna let the Draugr hit me after I heal a little bit here, because I need to have enough health to survive that first hit. But I got corpse run, so it's gonna be okay. And you'll see in a moment that they can hit me, and then boom. You don't see the barrier, but you see the icon in the top right. Yeah? So now I can get hit, and I won't die because I actually have a bubble shield. And this allows you to do more stuff with melee than you normally can. And it also makes blocking more powerful. Hey, we got lucky. You can get loot as well, and that's all customizable through the things that you've seen so far. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in this crypt, but we're going to work on this. Why did the explosions, they're so fast now? That's funny. Maybe it's because we're high up in the air. And if you think, oh gosh, what was that? Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Okay, now I can't just keep doing that, can I? Oh gosh, lava blob! Oh no, I gotta leave. And I'm poisoned. This is horrible, absolutely horrible. Bypass Content 5 says, is this not original from the game? No, Expand World Prefabs is a mod that you put on a Valheim server that then allows you to change Valheim how you want. And so it's hard to understand at first, but normally when you mod Valheim, if someone else joins the server, like, they have to download your mod or whatever. And you also have to know about just the basics of programming in order to set the mod up and know how to have people install it and all that kind of thing. Whereas with Expand World Prefabs, you mod your server and anybody can join it. Makes sense? So this version of Valheim that I'm playing is called Path of Magic, and that's why it's different. technically anybody can join and they'll have a similar experience. They'll see all of this nonsense and also be able to use all of the craziness. And it's quite inspiring, in all honesty, because it allows us to do something about the parts of the game that we either don't like or we feel could be different, or maybe there's something we would like to experiment with or change. So Yannick asked, does Path of Magic also support Xbox players? And unfortunately at the moment it doesn't, but it could. So this stuff works for Mac and Xbox because it's just a vanilla server that they can join. The problem though is that you have to enable crossplay in order for Xbox players to join, and crossplay is incredibly laggy. It makes all of Valheim's problems with multiplayer way worse, and I actually started off that way on Path to Ashlands. I wanted everybody to be able to join it, regardless of where they were or what console they were playing on. But unfortunately, it's just not possible. Like, if you think Valheim is laggy, normally, it's just horrible with crossplay enabled. And it doesn't seem to be as bad if it's just Xbox players, but when you have PC people and Xbox people actually doing what crossplay is for, it just doesn't function. You have really bad rubber banding and horrible stuff. It's like there's like 6 or 7 players online when there's just maybe 2 or 3. It just makes everything way, way worse and more challenging. So unfortunately, that's why I don't have crossplay enabled. But that being said, once there's like a few people interested, I'm not against having a clone of PoM, to be honest, that is crossplay enabled, that's for people to play on their consoles or from Mac. I'm definitely open to that. It's just gonna be hard because I won't be actively playing in that server, right? So I don't really know how to manage having 2 of them that are having separate things happening. You know what I mean? So it would need to be like a more casual thing that I wouldn't be that involved in. But I'm also open to giving people the stuff for it, because Path of Magic is just some simple scripts. So even though there's a lot of them, it's just a small text file basically that you put in the config folder, and then everything's changed. And I share that freely, so if you want, you can just ask me in Discord, and I give it out. You can also look in the Discord history. It's not the most easy thing to understand, and it's not ready for people to just use. But if you want to learn about how this works and actually look at the scripts that make all this happen, you can ask, and I'm happy to share all of that. I believe that the more we share these things, the better. Here we go. Looks like I got lucky and these lava blobs are taking care of everything. Hey, Mr. Droger Elite. Hey, you can just stay over there, please. Ooh, brutal. Hey, a bronze spear. Nice, awesome. Bronze spears allow us to heal, so they are very powerful. Freaking blob. What are you doing here? Go back. Go back to whence you came, 2-star blob. I don't like 2-star blobs. I guess I can heal myself with the spear, so maybe I can get poisoned and survive. Let's see. Oh no, I didn't even get poisoned. That's really lucky. Okay, let's see what's going on here. This seemed like a crazy room, but it looks like a bunch of stuff exploded in here and everything took care of itself. So we lucked out and it looks like it's fine. So here we are, we got some obsidian, that's cool. There's a little bit of nonsense here. Look, even this exploded. I wonder actually, do the fire arrows explode these things? That would be kind of interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. They do, they completely clear it. Huh. I mean, that, you see, I like being able to do that with the ooze bombs. Because it makes the ooze bombs more valuable. But if the fire arrows can also do that, I don't know how I feel about it. But we'll see. For now, I'm just gonna keep going. Hey, Mr. Ghost. Chill out, Mr. Ghost. Chill out. Here, now's the perfect time. See, I have a little bit of health missing. I can just toss the spear, and boom, I heal. In Path of Magic, spears actually turn into magic spells. So you can heal other Vikings, right? And like, I can block that, get my thing up here, right? And then fight this guy, use up some stamina. There we go, I lost my shield, right? I have to be careful. But I can toss that a little bit, and then boom, I have full health again. And spears are really, really powerful for that reason. Like, genuinely useful. That is also just one... Holy crap. That's just one of the spears. There's actually a bunch of them. Oh, and bypass. If you're just new into Valheim, that is awesome. I'm really happy for you. Like, yeah, I share things on Path of Magic, but I definitely don't think that you have to use a modded or changed experience to enjoy Valheim. Valheim is a really solid game. In the long run, once you've done playthroughs and gotten bored, and like you've learned how everything works, then that's when it's great to start trying different things out, and it's a whole new world. But there's no reason to dive into that like straight away. I don't think Valheim is a game you have to start modding. If anything, it's not necessary, because you won't really appreciate what Valheim really, like, what it is at its core. And like, one of the things I try and keep in mind, like, I know obviously I've changed so many things in Path of Magic, so a lot of people will feel like, oh, that's obviously not Valheim. But I don't like just like changing nonsense. Like, I think a lot about the balance of everything and how it influences stuff. And that's why, like, there may be crazy items happening. And like, I'm only in the swamps, but I have some magic and this kind of thing, right? But I can't always use it. There's situations, and I still manage to die all the time. So when you make the server harder, then like you sort of give players reason to try new mechanics. But again, this is just something to know about. I'm really glad that you're enjoying Valheim from the beginning. So you're on the 4th boss. Let's see. So there's Eikthyr, the Elder, Bone Mass, and then Motor. Oh, you're on the Dragon boss. That's my favorite one. She's really cool. And when you kill her, you get to build a bunch of really awesome stuff. So I'm excited for you. That's like, after you get her loot, you'll be able to build all sorts of cool things that are currently unavailable to you because you can't use a blast furnace. So I hope you have fun. That sounds cool. What do you think of the mountain biome? People tend to either love that biome or hate it. I personally really like the mountain. I like most of the biomes, to be honest. The only thing is, I wish the swamp wasn't dark all the time. Like, really, I really, if I could fix that with this EWP thing, I would. But unfortunately, the weather is completely client side, so I can't do anything about it. Like, I can like tell people to download a mod or something, but I don't do that. So I just accept that the swamps are always dark. But if I had my way, the swamps would be, they would be bright like maybe a quarter of the time, something like that. Oh, the spear broke. How tragic. And it didn't heal me. How lame. It's supposed to heal even if it breaks, so that the player can like save another player's life, you know? Ah, Bypass says, yes, I do, but I don't have that many people who want to join. Oh, I feel you, buddy. That's kind of the problem with Valheim. But here's the typical story. You get into Valheim and you love it. And for you, it's like a game that is crazy interesting and really cool. But for some reason, other people, they're more into the fatty mainstream games. And sorry, not fatty like fat. I mean fatty like a fad. They're more into the games that are like really popular that a lot of people are playing. So it's often hard for people to find consistent player groups with Valheim. And oftentimes people sort of stop playing because their friends lose interest. But I'm telling you, once you join some kind of server you like, or you make your own server and other people join, that's the magic of Valheim. Really, it's a good game single player. But when you start like helping prepare and doing things with buddies and stuff and working together on things, that's where Valheim tends to really shine for people. So I hope that you're able to find some people who want to do the progression in the mountains and everything with you and do the motor boss fight. Because I agree with you, the boss fights are, they're quite challenging alone. Definitely. Good morning, Val. So let's see. Alright, we have been clearing this a little bit. And is this the whole crypt? I think it... Oh no, it's almost the whole crypt. Let's see, we have a bunch of nonsense we exploded over here. There's an oozer. Alright, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I'm far away for the moment. Use some of these crazy arrows. It's funny how the timing, like sometimes they're almost instant. Other times, it takes a while, right? Like, look at this nonsense. Oof. I'm definitely not complaining about being able to... Oh, destroy... Oh, gosh, oh, gosh, oh, gosh. Oh, oof. I'm not complaining about being able to blow things up. And if you think it's OP, you should see the silver arrows. I didn't even make any this time, but they're insane. Yeah, Bypass says, sometimes I lose my bag and then it takes 8 hours to get it back. And I feel you. Definitely. Corpse running, as it's called, is an unfortunate quintessential part of the Valheim experience. If you're lucky, you can use world modifiers that change that. I don't know, it depends if you consider that modding the world or not, but everyone has different preferences. I personally set the world modifier in Valheim to keep your equipment when you die, but lose your inventory. That way, like, you don't have to corpse run naked, because really, personally, I don't feel that corpse running naked adds much value to the game. It just sort of makes people frustrated and adds more punishment to dying. And I don't know if that really is necessary, because there's already enough punishment of having to go get your stuff and losing your inventory. So, especially if you didn't set a spawn, you know, it's rough. Yeah, just bring a portal. That works on Portal Worlds. And you're right, he's probably playing on a Portal World, so that's good advice. Yeah, people call them pocket portals. So on Path of Magic, there's no portals, so you can't bring pocket portals. But on normal Valheim, you can actually just have a portal in your base that's named, like, Explore or something, right? And then, whenever you go and you look around, when you find something interesting, you make your portal called Explore, right? And then that way, whenever you die, you can just go back to the area that you explored. That's like a basic Valheim mechanic, you know what I mean? People do it a lot. And like, you know, people have strong feelings about portals. I also have strong feelings about portals. Like, that's why Path of Magic is no portals. But I don't think that, like, if you're already playing on a portals world, it's not like you should stop. It's just like something to keep in mind. Like, if you really, really like Valheim and you want to, like, experience a kind of Valheim where you have to pay more attention to the mechanics, then I recommend doing no portal. I find it to be really, really, really enjoyable. Hey, what did I get? Hey, I got a Fenring coat. Hey, that's awesome. That's cool. I think I had more of this, but I lost it somewhere. Nice. Now there's a whole bunch of nonsense around here. Probably enough to do the actual building that we need. For now, I'll just keep everything loose. Doesn't really matter that much. We'll bring a cart in or something to just take care of the rest of it. And it looks like this spot here is still around, and I don't have that many more fire arrows, so I'm just gonna use these ooze bombs. See what's going on here. Oh, okay, Mr. Lava Blob. All right, why don't you stay back there? No, 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 don't. Ah! Oh, oof. Oh, bypass. That's the sailing tragedy. Bypass says, I have portals, but I was on my boat sailing towards something. Then I died by a deathsquito on the middle of the ocean with all of my important gear. Yeah, oh, welcome to Valheim. You're like a proper Viking now. That's the true experience. Did you, by chance, maybe crash into a sandbar in the plains that you didn't see? Or maybe was it foggy and misty and you couldn't see the land, and then you end up crashing into plains, running away from goblins, and then getting impaled by a deathsquito? People have strong feelings about deathsquitos. You can see why, right? Yeah, they're quite brutal, in all honesty. Definitely. All right, let's grab some food. Here we are. Should be good. And I have this food from before. Now, let's see. I should probably... probably deal with that workbench thing. It needs to be a little bit stronger. I'm gonna have to make another toss hammer. I have so many of these hammers. Just level 1 hammers everywhere. Alright, let's see if this is good enough. Can I sneak it in here? Yeah? Yeah? Just right here. Come on, you know it'll work, right? Ah. Maybe over there. Oh no, this one needs space. That's right. Hey, that works. Good enough. I think it only needs to be like level 2. Yeah, here we go. No, it does need to be level 3. I don't even have any feathers though. I sold all of them like a fool. So I guess it is what it is. What we would need is more leather scraps, but as you could see from being in there, there are loads of leather scraps normally, but in Path of Magic, I must have made it so they get converted into something else because it doesn't seem to work that way now. I think I can get, let's see, I can sell the blood bags. This is why I always run out of stuff, because I've made it so you can sell most things, right? So here, for example, we have our Diverger buddy. Where is he? Getting into no good. Where is he? Ah, here he is. Yeah, we're just gonna sell these to him, and then he'll give us some coins. Yeah, see, we got 400 coins now. And that's actually enough. We just get 405 coins. What we can do is get a super cart inside the crypt. And that's pretty much gonna be necessary for me to properly loot things. Look, I had all this food just chilling here in the wrong place. Classic. I need to update the kitchen as well. This base needs some love, for sure. I've been too focused on just the factory aspects of it, right? So let's see, some of this stuff is sellable, but only when it's in a full stack. This stuff, for example, is sellable now. So I'm gonna sell that. I'm trying to get enough coins so I can just summon like a really big cart inside the crypt. And you can do, I think 405 gets you a super cart. So we're gonna go with 405. But you lose the cart, so it's sort of like a temporary thing. Makes sense? Let's just sell the rest of the stuff that we have here. Just these things. Where's our Diverger? He's hanging out with his friend, I see. Why is that destroyed? Very interesting. Very interesting. Alright, mister. So what you're gonna do here, you're gonna sell me these things. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Alright, so now I got money from that. I don't know why that thing got destroyed. This diverger probably shot it. Not ideal, but whatever. We'll just deal with it later. That's generally the approach I'm gonna take for now. So here we are, and yeah, Bypass says, you need a bypass who will build your base. Well, you're welcome. Any Path of Magic is an open server. So anybody's free to join. And you don't have to like do the combat stuff. If you want to join and just find a spot and build something, there's mechanics you can use to stay reasonably safe. You pretty much have to just get to the spot and then remember to strike the builder's bell. And yeah, it's like I mentioned, anybody can join Path of Magic. It's free to experience, and it's very useful for me because I'd say about a third of the server is accidental, 1/3 of the changes are other players' ideas that I rolled with, and 1/3 of the stuff is my own like idea or intention. But it wouldn't be what it is without the playtesters and people who have tried it, and it changes based on that. Ah, you're on Xbox. Well, no, that's motivating because I've been meaning to set something up so that people can mess around on the Xbox version. But I think what I'd probably do is make like a copy of the world as it is, maybe after I build this iron factory or something. Because then there's, like, this area is important because it shows some mechanics. Like, there's this conveyor here, and the foreman's ran off over there, so I won't turn it on now. But all this stuff that you see, it actually functions and smelts everything. So it can actually, like, do a whole bunch of stuff. And it'll be a place people can visit and learn about mechanics, because there's builder's bells here. There are conveyors. There's a dungeon, right? That's the sort of thing that goes on. And Bypass says, I build beautiful castles with stick draft and shit. Hey, that's cool. Really, as long as you have fun, you know, that's what counts. I know one thing that unfortunately tends to happen with Valheim in particular is builders have a lot of fun and they build stuff, but they make like really extravagant places that use up a lot of instances and are really laggy. So then players just don't want to experience it, basically. I got distracted. I didn't bring my coins. Here we go. I know from experience that I should loot things patiently. So in Path of Magic, you can summon a cart that's normal for 200 coins, or you can summon a super cart that has a little bit more inventory space for, I think 450 coins, or 405 coins. Yeah, let's see, 405, and then say buy. Boom! Look at that. Yeah, a super cart. And as you can see, a super cart has more inventory space than the cart that you're used to, but not quite as much space as an ultra cart. But those ultra carts are 900 something coins. That's just too expensive. Hey, it's poppin'. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Bypass says, I could finish the game already when I didn't spend that much on building. Oh, but don't rush, man. Like that's the beauty of Valheim. That if you don't build, you don't get to experience the magic of going from building to exploring to building to exploring to building to exploring. And that's the glory of it. That's where a lot of the fun comes from. People act like you're either a builder or you're not. That's all nonsense. Everybody who plays Valheim can have fun building. They just often think that they're not a builder, so they can't, right? But really, you don't have to be a combat person or a builder or this or that. You can just play, and you'll surprise yourself. At least that's what happened to me. I didn't feel like I was that creative or artistic for most of my life. But over time, as I got older, that started to change. And then with Valheim, it gave me this thing I can be really creative in. And it then allowed me to thrive. And I think that's something that's so beautiful about Valheim in general, is that it just gives us a way to practice our creativity that I think is safe, basically. Uh-oh. It looks like PoM angered his verger somehow. So basically, when you aggro the diverger in Path of Magic, depending on the kind of diverger, you have to do different things. And it sounds like PoM is getting killed by his fishmonger. And the fishmongers, if it's a normal diverger, they need stamina food. If it is a, oh no. If it is a, let's see, if it's a normal diverger, they need stamina food. But if it is a magic diverger, they need eater food. And if it is an Ashland's diverger, they need health food. And yeah, I just accepted I was poisoned. Let's see. So PoM says when they become empowered, they switch their allegiance back to neutral. Oh, that's awesome, actually. That's not intended, but that's awesome. Yes. So in general, if you mess up your diverger, or you piss them off, or you accidentally shoot them or something, you can just toss the food they like at them, and then they will become friendly to you again. Like, I could do it here, but I'm probably gonna get killed, because this one's real mean. But in theory, let's see, I just need some stamina food, and I need to not get hit. So let's see if she puts up with me punching her. She might just tolerate it, because we summoned her. Let's see. I think she's just tolerating it. She doesn't look like she's trying to shoot me. Yeah, the other diverger, they're not that friendly. So if you punch them once, then it's over. They're gonna try and get you. But basically, you can just toss food at the diverger, like this, watch. I'll just, oh! Dang, she was pissed at me! Oh, shit. Okay. I thought that she wasn't pissed, but it looks like she was just running around. Wow. Well, in theory, oh, actually, maybe there was an enemy. Oh, I think she shot me by accident, actually. Let's see. Wait, where is she? She was shooting something, but I think there was actually an enemy, and she tried to shoot the enemy, and the bolt hit me. Because, yeah, you see how she's aggroed? I think she doesn't care about me. You didn't mean to kill me, right? That was an accident. Please? So here we go. Now I'll redo the illustration and not just get YOLO'd or nerked right there. So yeah, when either you want to heal the diverger or you've peeved it off, you can feed them, right? So you just toss the food there, and then they eat it, and then they heal, and also they also basically become neutral to you. One second, let's see. So PoM says, so anyways, why do they change allegiance when they level up? The level up applies a data to them that looks at their current level and adds it, and then if it's level 2, it makes them empowered, so it turns them into a mini boss, which gives them that health bar, and that's how you end up with empowered, tough conveyor foreman. That was something unintentional that it keeps duplicating like that, but every time it gets tough or empowered, it basically makes the mob a little bit faster and a little bit stronger. So it does actually influence the behavior of the mob, and tough mobs don't get feared like regular mobs do. So they have some sort of mechanical changes. But yeah, one second, let me type just in case Calm isn't here. So basically each time they level up, each time they are near the death of a player, a deer, a hare, or some other cases, they get a roll to level up. Each level up, they then... once they are level 2, once they're 2-star, then they can become empowered. When a mob becomes empowered, if it's a diverger, it'll forget it's angry at the player. But not with other monsters. There we go. Sorry to type that out all slowly for you. But yeah, Bypass, I'm glad that you're building a lot. Definitely don't beat yourself up for taking longer because of building. Building is magical. It's incredible. And you probably wouldn't enjoy Valheim as much if it wasn't for your building habit. So, I mean, yeah, power to you, in all honesty. I think it's great that you're building things. And who knows, the things that you build, they could end up being practice for something else. You could do something else in the future that you enjoy, you know? I mean, that's what happened with this server. It all started as one thing, and then it escalated and kept going and morphed and changed and morphed and changed. And before I knew it, it was a whole world, and other people were enjoying it. And it just is so fun and meaningful that, like, my life, it genuinely made my life better. Like, I think one of the most impactful things I've done for me personally was actually starting the Path to Ashland server a year ago. Because before that, I was in the situation that I think a lot of Valheim players are in, where, like, you're really passionate about the game, but other people, like, it's just harder for you to find people who are like that you can play with, who, like, I don't know, aren't all min-maxy and that kind of thing, you know? Like, even finding people who like no map, no portal, that's already super niche, you know? So, like, people who like PoM, I feel like PoM, it's impossible for it to be, like, something that most Valheim players will enjoy. But... one second. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, I have a body somewhere with some more food. Let's deal with that here. Yes, thank you. That explains this as well. There was a bunch of nonsense here. I guess I don't need the coal anymore. Coal's pretty much trash. So, no need for it to even be up here. I might actually... One second, I'm explaining something to Calm about the alliances. Yeah, so Calm's asking about something to do with the Diverger and the factions, but in Path of Magic, the things that are friendly to you aren't friendly to you because they have some like faction or character type or something like that. It's simply friendly because they have the value tamed set to 1. That's it. So it's as if they are tamed. So if something untames them and sets that value back to 0, then it could mess things up. But with Diverger, it's different because when they get reset, they have like a different system because they're neutral monsters, which are different than something like boar or wolves, which are aggressive monsters in general. So it's a little different. But I think if you have a 2-star wolf and then it gets empowered, I think it stays friendly because, I mean, we've had the empowering system for ages, so we'll see. I'll fix it if that doesn't happen. But I'd be willing to, I'm pretty confident that it doesn't work that way. I think that the wolf stays friendly because it's not like it reverts everything, if that makes sense. It just kind of like adds some data to the empowered monster. But it doesn't like just respawn it as a new monster. Although that can happen sometimes, but in a different situation. Okay, so what's going on here? Let's focus a little bit here. I'm obviously getting distracted by conversing. But I don't want to be in this crypt the whole time. I'm just going to get enough stuff to sell some things. And I think we're already at that point, to be honest. I don't need to clear the rest of the crypt out. I can just take the stuff we have back, and we're already good enough to just keep going, basically, and get into the building. Because I'm not trying to have a whole bunch of time spent in the woods, so to speak. I want to get into the actual framework here. So let's take our handy-dandy little ultra cart here, or our super cart. And what I'm going to do is just take the things that I need for the moment, okay? Which is pretty much only going to be stuff that is sellable, right? Sellable things are anything in a full stack. So we have ooze, 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 ooze. This is all full stacks. That's all sellable. We also need the metal, so let's take this metal. We don't have full change. These iron nails are useful for other stuff. Don't need these. These are not full stacks. There we go. And at least we have some feathers now. I'm actually short on feathers, so I'm gonna stop selling the feathers. Seems like a genuinely good idea. Let's see. Anything else we have full stacks of? Full stacks of Surdling cores. I think I'll keep some of those though. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just buy as much stone as I possibly can. That seems like the funner way to do this. Or the more fun way to do this, rather. So here we go. Let's take our heavy stuff, and everything else can just stay there for now. We're gonna go outside and load up our little cart, which has been pre-set up just right here. Oh, looks like something is poisoning the Diverger Foreman. That's very problematic. Uh-oh. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I can save you, buddy! Where are you? No! This always happens. Oh. Ah, he must have been missing or something. My soul was killing him. Killing her. Here we go. Yay! See, there you go. She just gets healed. Easy peasy.